morning. Happy Monday. So I figured I would do a what I eat sort of YouTube video because a lot of people have been asking about how I maintain a healthy lifestyle, what I sort of eat on a regular basis. I figured it's Monday, I'm recovering from the weekend, so I'm probably going to be extra healthy today. I started my mornings off with coffee. I try my best not to drink 3 cups of coffee a day, but usually that's how it ends up. Alright, so I have a fresh cup of coffee that has been brewed here. Actually, I think I've made 5 cups because Lou has some and I send him off with a to-go cup in the morning. So I made the coffee and I actually used this Williams-Sonoma frother that I bought to froth my almond milk. So I'm just going to walk over here because I already frothed it. So it's this really cool frother by Williams-Sonoma. I will show you the coffee I use. So we bought this Brooklyn Roasting Company coffee. I'm just going to take the top off this, and this has been sitting for a minute or so, so it's not as frothy anymore, unfortunately, but what are you gonna do? Just twist it off there. So this is almond milk. This is actually silk almond milk. I've been actually making my almond milks lately, but I didn't get to it on Sunday. So, and I have it in my little Mrs. mug. You can see here. Okay. Alright, so I usually drink my coffee and I sit at my desk and I start my day and get through my inbox, and you might notice that my hair is done. That is very irregular for a Monday night. I've been trying lately to do my hair in the morning because I find that if I get dressed and I do my hair and I even put on a little makeup, I feel more like a working professional and I get more stuff done. I go on more errands. I'm like not afraid to leave the house because like, oh, I gotta get dressed. So it's a little tip if you work from home. Alright, so I'm gonna go walk over here to my desk and start my day, and I will check back in with you when I eat something next. I boiled water and I have my oatmeal right here. This is the one that I used, Arrowhead Mills organic instant oatmeal. The ingredients are literally just oatmeal. There you go, organic instant oatmeal. I'm just gonna empty that into here, and then I'm gonna stir in about a half a cup of the boiling water, and then I'm gonna add some bananas. I don't like to use microwaves at all, so that's why I boiled water first. Now that that boiling water is in, I'm just gonna stir it, and you're supposed to let it sit for just a minute. So just gonna make sure that that's all combined. There you go. And I like a thicker oatmeal, so I use a little less than half a cup, although the instructions say to use the full cup. I just have 1 organic banana, and I'm going to slice half of this up and add it to the oatmeal, and that's really it. It's kind of boring, it's oatmeal, but honestly I think oatmeal is delicious, and I just need something to hold me over until lunch because I gotta get this blog post up. I'm running very late. Yum. Today has been a busy desk work day, so I already made 1 recipe. I have 1 to 2 more to go, and on days like that I tend to just have like a snack around lunchtime, like a piece of fruit or something, and then I make my lunch probably like around 3. I am having a pear right now. I'm having an Asian pear. I love these. They're like really juicy, much juicier than like a Boss Grand Jus pear. So I'm actually gonna use a apple cutter, like an apple slicer, to slice the pear into pieces, and then I'm gonna snack on that. So I just cut it into pieces like that, and I'm gonna go over to my desk and have it as a snack. Okay, surprise, surprise, I'm still in the kitchen. If you can see behind me, I just did all the dishes and I cleaned everything up. It was the 3rd recipe of the day I made, and now I'm gonna make lunch. And I'm actually in the mood for like a quinoa bowl, so I'm gonna make one of the types of quinoa bowls that I usually make for dinner, but just tone it down a little bit for lunch. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I do best. First, nothing fancy, I'm just gonna add in some quinoa here to this little skillet, and I'm actually gonna pour water over just barely enough to cover it. I'm gonna do that right here. I have my water in here, and then I'm gonna bring it over to the stovetop. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this to a boil. So while that cooks, I'm going to make the rest of my recipe. And I'm actually making more quinoa than I really need for lunch today, but that's because I like to make quinoa. Whenever I make quinoa, I like to make a lot of it because it stays well in the fridge, and then you have it on hand for, you know, quick breakfast, teriyaki stir fries during the week, dinners, all those sort of things. So let's assemble the rest of the lunch. Alright, I'm gonna start with prepping everything now that quinoa is on its way to being finished. I'm gonna chop my onions, or actually slice them, because I love onions. It's probably enough for one. Over the side, and then I'm gonna add in some kale. And just to chop that really finely. I love when kale is really, really chopped. It's just a little more easy to eat because it can be pretty tough unless you massage it, and ain't nobody got time for that. I'm actually gonna peel this first, and then I'm gonna julienne one side. Okay, so I have a simple julienne peeler here. I can leave a link in the video. A lot of you guys ask about what kind of peeler I use and what kind of julienne peeler I use, so I will leave that in the comment. As you can see, julienning isn't as easy as spiralizing. It's more time consuming, and I feel like there's more opportunities to cut yourself. Okay, so that should be enough carrots. I'm actually gonna set that aside, and I'll cut the julienne carrots in half. Make them in smaller pieces. Okay, so now it's time to prepare the cabbage. I'm actually gonna spiralize this, and it doesn't make it into noodles, but it makes it in, it just shreds it. So, you know, it can be really time consuming and difficult and kind of dangerous to shred a cabbage with a knife. So I love to spiralize it. It's nice, quick, and easy, so I'm gonna show you how. First thing to do is really remove those outer layers. So once you do that, you'll get a nice compact cabbage head. And there's actually a rough part on the bottom. Can you see that? Okay, a rough part. So what I do is I just slice that off. Not all the way, because you still want like a flat part of it, but I'll cut it, you know, a little bit. So let me grab a cutting board so you can see that. I'll cut it with my nice knife. Now that we're done with that, I'm gonna grab my spiralizer, or my Inspiralizer, which is right here. And I know it looks giant, like it's not gonna work, but I promise you it will work. So the key is to put this side on the handle so that it can grip into something, and then the other side on there. And you're gonna use blade A, which you can just use this little noodle twister and select blade A. Oh, I'm already on blade A. So blade A is the flat one with no triangles. Pressing down hard to secure it. There we go. And now I'm gonna load in my cabbage. Okay, so now all you do is you grasp the back handle, if you can see that, and twist. Whee! Let me try to get a better angle for you guys. Can you see that? Is that better? No one's answering me because this is not live. This isn't Snapchat, Allie. Okay, so I'll keep going like that. And I actually don't need that much cabbage, obviously, for this recipe, but another great thing about spiralizing cabbage is that it lasts you for the week. So you can use cabbage for soups, cabbage in stir fries, you can braise it. Since I have all of this extra cabbage, I'm gonna put the cabbage that I'm not gonna use in this Ziploc bag. And you can tell, I mean, this is a giant gallon Ziploc bag, and look how much we have. Okay, and then I'm just gonna save, obviously, a little bit for the recipe. The next part of this recipe is drain chickpeas or garbanzo beans into a colander and rinsing them to get that extra sodium off. And then I need to cut open my avocado. I love these Eden Organics garbanzo beans. Yay! Okay, so I grabbed a spoon and I'm just gonna actually take about a quarter of this avocado out. Actually, that's more like 3/4 of a half. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of olive oil to the pan while it's heating up. And I actually have been using this olive oil lately. It's from a friend who owns an olive orchard in Italy, which is amazing. So it's made in Italy. It's really delicious. I love it. Their chili oil is actually really good. And I'm supporting a small business. I'm gonna add in everything. There you go, the onions, kale, and some cabbage, obviously. Okay, there's the cabbage, and then the carrots. And I'm gonna season this with salt and pepper. I love these motorized salt shakers we got for our wedding. And then pepper, and I'm gonna add actually a little bit of garlic powder. Our quinoa's done, and I'm just gonna scrape it into this bowl here so that it doesn't keep cooking or overcook in the pot. I'm gonna be tossing these around, and I just kind of like flash cook these. The kale's already really nice and wilted. Oh, it looks so colorful. I am heating up this, the pot that I cooked the quinoa in, and I'm gonna add in my favorite barbecue sauce, which is Tessame's Maddie's BBQ sauce. That is a barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna add in the chickpeas. I'm gonna grab them from over here. I'm not gonna add all these chickpeas, obviously, because I have protein from the quinoa. Just a few. Okay, and then I'm gonna put that back over heat and sort of stir it together and let that cook nicely. I am going to start with my quinoa, and I'm just gonna add in, swoop. Oh yeah. Okay. This is turning out to be a much heartier lunch than I thought it would be, so obviously I'm hungry. Now we have the quinoa, the veggies. I'm gonna add in my avocado that I cut before, and then I'm gonna add in these barbecue chickpeas. I'm just gonna kind of pour them all on top because I want that sauce to really cover everything. And the last thing that I'm gonna top is coconut bacon. So I bought these organic coconut bacon bits. They're vegan. They are awesome. They don't taste as good as my homemade ones, but when I'm in a rush like this and I just want to eat and I don't want to deal with making my own coconut bacon, I like this brand. So I will include a link in the video description in case you guys want to buy it. Okay, and just like about a tablespoon, just a crinkle. So that's going to give it like such a nice like hickory bacon-like taste, and obviously this is a vegetarian dish. So we are done. Now is my favorite part, which is eating. Lou is videoing me right now, and I'm about to go to the gym. So as I talked about before, I saved my half banana from the morning, and I'm just eating a little bit of organic peanut butter on top. Alright, so excuse my extremely sweaty appearance. I just got back from the gym. I did a 45-minute Peloton cycle ride, which if you guys don't follow me on my other Instagram, at Inspiralized, it's where I post my post-workout gym selfies. So I'm all sweaty after my workout, and I just post a picture, and it helps me keep motivated, and I can track my progress, and I love hearing from you guys and your feedback. It just makes my day. Now it's time for dinner, and it's a bit late, so I'm doing something really simple. It's just a Dijon salmon. It sounds fancy, but it's really easy. A Dijon salmon over Brussels sprouts, and I'm gonna do the leftover quinoa because that's what I have. Start here with the salmon. Basically, I use just Grey Poupon. It's the country Dijon, let that focus. It's a country Dijon, and I basically just spread it over the salmon. I actually just changed my shirt because I realized how sweaty I was, and it's really not good for your skin to be sitting in your sweat, so I just changed my top. And I'm actually going to just put that on a baking sheet, and I have the oven preheated to 425. So I'm gonna put some parchment paper down here. And I'm gonna place the salmon, actually, hold on. Okay, so if your parchment paper keeps rolling up, here's the trick. Spray the bottom of your baking sheet with Pam, or any kind of cooking spray, and then that'll keep like that. So I'm just gonna add the salmon here, and then I'm gonna bake that for about 15 to 20 minutes. While the salmon finishes cooking, I'm gonna start to shred these Brussels sprouts. And this is how they sell them in the grocery store below me. I just grabbed them today. Excuse my horrible knife skills. So basically, I just slice them thinly like this with a knife. And I was actually just at a test kitchen working on a very exciting project, and I was there with the corporate chef, and I was so amazed at how quickly he shredded Brussels sprouts, because one of the menu items includes shredded Brussels sprouts, and I felt like such an amateur. But you know what? I am, and I think that's why some of you guys like watching me, because I don't have fancy cooking skills, and all my recipes, I think, are super approachable. So I'm just going to finish these, and then once the salmon is just about done, I'm going to add these to the pan to cook them. These are the shredded Brussels sprouts, you can see here, and that's gonna be the base. I'm gonna put the salmon on top, and I'm gonna add in that leftover quinoa from today. I'm gonna add in the Brussels sprouts, and I'm gonna let these cook for, you know, just a few minutes, and I'm gonna season them with garlic powder, salt, and pepper. The salmon's just about done, so I'm gonna add in the quinoa here now. Put my leftover quinoa from the recipe I had for lunch. So we're gonna stir this for like a minute, let it heat up, and then we're gonna plate it and top it with salmon. Pretty easy. The final step, I'm gonna add in my Brussels sprout and quinoa mixture into this bowl. And I like eating out of bowls. For some reason it makes it seem like you're eating more, and it's just easier to eat. Okay. So there you have it. Okay, healthy dinner, didn't take too long. Brussels sprouts, quinoa, and that Dijon salmon. I'm so hungry and I'm going to go eat this. I promise I'm not a loner, and I am actually married, but my husband's across the street watching the first half of the Giants game with some friends, so I took it upon myself to just zen out and make my own little quinoa and Brussels sprout bowl, which is so delicious. If you like this video and you want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And if you like this What I Eat video and you'd like to see more like this, give me a like and tell me in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. I love making these kind of videos. They're a lot of fun. And if I eat anything else tonight, I'll be sure to add an addendum and film that too. But it's pretty late. It's after 9. Thank you so much. I hope you loved it. Bye.